I'm Layla. Welcome to Raid Lore Stories. Today's lore story is going to be for Supreme Athel as voted by my Twitch chat. So I hope you guys enjoy this lore story. Of all the peoples, nations, and factions across the length and breadth of Teleria, it could be claimed that few argue so vicariously, nor yearn more achingly for the intervention of the divine than the Sacred Order. From their bastion called the Eternal Citadel in Western Anhel, the adherents of the Order sally forth not only to spread Lumea's light, but to carry out what they are convinced is the goddess's will. Some claim, too, that in doing so, they are prepping the way for the return of either the goddess herself or her chosen champion from the divine realms beyond the mortal plane. The Sacred Order spreads claims about the coming of a hero of the light with particular vigor, for in such desperate times everyone needs something to hope for. Accounts about just how this hero will materialize vary upon the teller, but there are a number of points the majority share. Like most members of the Sacred Order, the promised one is human and usually a woman. Some hold that she has humble origins, others that she is the child of a king or court, but either way, she is normally orphaned and brought up by the kindness and largesse of the Order. Inculcated with an appreciation of the divine and a desire to uphold the righteous and defend the weak, she undertakes a quest that may or may not be guided by visions of blinding prophetic light. During her quest, the hero proves herself to be the chosen one by seeking out and attaining 4 holy relics, each said to be imbued with Lumea's deep inner light. Invariably, these 4 relics go by many different names, but all share the characteristics of a spear, a sword, a shield, and a suit of plate armor. The spear, often called the Lance of Lumea, is said to have been wielded against Serath himself, and once pierced the god of shadow, dealing him a wound that still pains him to this day. The sword, called the Blade of Righteousness or the Sword of Light, is claimed to be the chief weapon of one of the founding members of the Order. Both sword and spear are believed to be inimical to all creatures of darkness and are said to become wreathed in holy, purifying flame when battle against the servants of Serath is joined. Similarly, both the shield, commonly known as the Shield of the Righteous, and the heavy armor, the Cuirass of Faith, provide not just the regular protection of tempered steel and stout iron-sheathed oak, but are also inscribed and imbued with prayers to Lumea that provide defense against the curses and ensorcelled blades of Serath's minions in equal measure. Once the hero has collected all of these items, so the story goes, Lumea will visit them and provide a final benediction that allows them to transcend the bonds of mortality, elevating them into a being that is only a little short of becoming an avatar of the goddess of light. Then, with this last blessing, the hero will embark upon the greatest of all crusades, rallying all of the righteous to her banner and waging war on Serath until the shadow god himself is destroyed and light reigns forever. It is somewhat ironic that, while such stories prove to be an evergreen source of hope and inspiration for the common folk among the higher echelons of the Sacred Order, they are viewed by some with mistrust and even outright hostility. Senior members are willing to keep the stories alive, but are careful to do their utmost to quash any hint that they are coming true. For while the Order continues to provide itself as the one true bastion of faith in Lumea, those in position of power know that their holy institution has fallen far from its halcyon days. Some are quite happy with the current circumstances and would likely decry as a heretic and young upstart who tried to upset the balance of power in Anhel by claiming to be a warrior prophetess sent by a higher power. Certainly, rumors that there is already a young knight within the Order named Athel, who fit many of the characteristics of the hero, have been quickly squashed by some of the upper hierarchy. If or when the hero of legend emerges, they may find themselves battling as many enemies within the Sacred Order as without it. Wow, so I have to say, they really fleshed out this story for Supreme Athel, I'm sorry. I love how they make it feel like a legend, you know? They make it feel like this storytelling that is done through many generations throughout the Sacred Order, and how they think it could be Athel, but they're not sure. So I absolutely love this, guys. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the story for Supreme Athel.